your life began in quite a volatile time in our country's history, and you're telling me an interesting story, which I just have to bring up again, about your parents.
Yeah.
How they met. How did they meet? What were they doing?
Well, my parents were politically active. My mother left the country when she was 15 years old, and they joined the ANC military commando, Umkhonto weSizwe, and they went out to go be trained how to basically shoot guns, and trained how to bring the then apartheid regime to its knees. And countries like Angola were hosting some of the MKs and teaching them guerrilla warfare. The Cubans were very involved. The Russians provided some of the arms. And it's a journey that was very scary for my parents, who met there in exile. It wasn't a conducive environment for a relationship or for babies, you know. But it happened, and where people meet, things will happen, and I happened.
As a result, you were born in Zambia.
I was born in Zambia. My sister was born in Zambia. My parents got married in Zambia. It didn't work out. I grew up in the States. My mother came to fetch me, but my sister was raised by my grandmother, my late grandmother, who's also Masechaba Lekalake, in Dube and Soweto, because she was too young. At least I could talk and walk. We're 5 years apart. I was 6 years old when they came to fetch me.
Okay.
And so I spent my formative years in the States. And so my history is very interesting. It's very colorful. And it made me who I am, because I've had to learn to adapt to so many different types of people, environments,
different situations,
cultures, and I can blend in literally like anywhere.
Okay, well, this whole interview was about Women's Month, our Women's Month feature. What did you do for Women's Day?
What did I do for Women's Day? That was a Saturday on the 9th.
Yes.
On Women's Day, I was at the Sandton Medical Clinic. My 16-month-old son was admitted into hospital. His first hospital stay for like a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
so you're busy being a mom.
I was busy being a mom. But my friend was like, no, hell no, we're not having any of this. She took me from the hospital, she picked me up, and she took me out for a Thai spa massage thing. And that was incredible. You know, I was craving some adult conversation. Yeah.
So you pampered yourself a little bit.
Well, she pampered me.
Yeah,
by force. Because I'm like, no, I'm at the hospital. You can come visit us at the hospital. Yeah, but he's fine now.
Is he fine now? Yes.
Asthma runs in the family, but we've all outgrown it. I need to
What if he has asthma?
Well, we need to find him some marijuana, because
really?
That's how my mom cured my asthma. A lot of our indigenous knowledge systems have been wiped away because of so-called modernization. But the fact of the matter is that these pharmaceuticals are making a killing from things that we grow in the ground. And they're just packaging it nicely and calling it nice things that we can't even pronounce, and selling it back to you.
Yes.
So marijuana is a herb, it's not a drug.
In terms of Women's Month, what does Women's Month mean to you? Having a history that you have, you know, with how your parents, they were actually activists, and what happened in 1956 with women marching to the union buildings. As a whole, what significance do you see of that in today's society?
For me, I mean, Women's Month is a time to reflect really on the power of women. Particularly to say to women, if a bunch of women could get together, some of them with their babies on their backs, and stand up against a system where they weren't even allowed to drive cars, and their voices could be heard, then surely where we are, with the advantages that we have and the things that we're exposed to, we can achieve so much more. So it should serve as a reminder of the kings and queens who we come from, and who they are is who we are, because we are direct descendants of them. It's not just a holiday, it's not just a day for women for no reason. And I'm not a feminist, because a lot of people sometimes think I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in that. I believe in female empowerment, but I also believe in the empowerment of people in general.
Okay. Which woman do you look up to? There's so many young women that look up to you, but you are actually a pretty young woman yourself. There's got to be those ones that you feel, maybe if I can get to this level, then I'll feel, you know, like I've made it.
Oprah Winfrey. She's pretty much laid out a path that wasn't there before, and it's made it easier to walk that path. Locally, I admire my mom, and I say my mother because she fought for the liberation of our people. You know, we are here today. We can sit here and having a nice interview on nice channels because we're free. Can you imagine there was a time when we weren't free? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago.
No, and it wasn't that long ago. And I'm pretty stubborn, so sometimes I'm glad that I wasn't alive in that era because I would have been killed. Yeah, they would have killed me. Yeah.
Okay, so smart mouth as well. So, like, which woman, what words of encouragement do you have for other women that would aspire not necessarily to be in media, but just to be successful in their careers, to be motivated in their everyday life? Because, you know, being a woman can be pretty tough in today's society.
I would definitely say, like, for me personally, I've discovered that when you live your truth, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. You have to stay true to yourself because oftentimes we come from a generation of people who've been deprived. So there's still a certain mentality of lack. So parents tend to push their children into certain careers that their children are not destined for. And you have to listen to your parents because they're paying your school fees. But ultimately, I would encourage people to recognize what they love and to pursue that. We now know that you can make money from anything. Now people make money making people laugh. You know, comedy was never taken seriously before. But look at Trevor Noah. Look at Tall Ass Mo. So you can go very far in any field. If you want to be a ventriloquist, you can be the best damn ventriloquist that anybody has ever seen. So it really is just about doing what you love. You got to wake up every day and do what you love.
You got to be motivated.
Exactly. Be true to yourself in your relationships as well. If you're with that man because he's got money, well, honey, that money's not going to keep you warm at night. You know? And if you're not with the person you love because people say that he's not this or he's not that, then guess what? You're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. If you're gay, just come out of the damn closet because you are who you are. You have to live your truth. As long as you're not hurting anyone, but whatever the cost, there's sacrifices that come to living your truth. But you've got to be brave enough to make those sacrifices for your own happiness.
Absolutely. So live your truth and that will lead you to your purpose.
Yeah, be free, like Eve.
Okay, so one final question in terms of your lifestyle. You just told me right now you started working out, you've got 2 beautiful children, you are a career woman. Media is one of the craziest industries. You've got to be at a million places in one day. How do you juggle everything?
Balance for me is, it comes naturally. I don't have to think about it. Balance creates itself. So if your life is not balanced, then something's not right. You see what I'm saying? So it always fits. It's always going to fit when it's right. And my life fits because it's right and it just happens. I really don't even bust a sweat thinking about how I'm going to get it all done.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm also one of those moms that's not too hard on myself. Like, I know single moms are always like, oh, it's so hard being a single mom. For me, that's not the hardest thing. I mean, the hardest thing is how do I raise global citizens, you know, who are good people, good human beings, good men, who can contribute effectively to society, who are considerate of others. But, you know, being a single mom is because I don't take my job so seriously. I'm just a conduit. These people are their own people. So we tend to want to own our children. So we end up having heart attacks and gray hair at a very early age. No, just do your best and let God do the rest, really.
You deserve to know more.
eNCA.com.